Okay, so let's talk a little bit tonight about Kant. And I know that you guys have struggled a little bit with the reading, so I'm going to go over really quickly with you guys what I'd like you to be taking away from this stuff. So this is really sort of simplifying and condensing. And if you have questions about any of this stuff, just let me know. So this is a lovely image of Kant. So let's talk a little bit about Kant's idea behind aesthetics. Aesthetics is basically sort of the study of beauty, right? And ideas about beauty. And in Kant's ideas of aesthetics, he sees beauty as being universal and also being disinterested. Now, what he means by universal is that basically everybody would agree to the judgment because it's natural to do so. So the beauty is in the form. This means that beauty is intrinsic to the object. It's just there, like the smell of something or the color. One example of this would be in the stuff that we've been talking about would be the idea of the contrapposto pose, right? So this is a formal convention that the Greeks believe demonstrated the beauty of the athletic body in motion, right? So this is something that everybody would agree upon is beautiful. Universality, according to Kant, is a product of the human mind, right? So these qualities are like common sense, and there's no objective property that makes them beautiful, but people can all agree and understand that something is beautiful. So beauty, in a sense, is like truth. And one way to think about this is to say that beauty is universal and subjective is like saying Christ is both man and God. It's sort of a similar system of logic. So the other thing is that beauty is disinterested. Beauty is specific. We take pleasure in something beautiful because we judge it beautiful, rather than deciding it is beautiful because we find it pleasurable. So there are things that can be found to be nice or pleasurable without being beautiful. So we take pleasure in beauty because of its inherent beauty. So Kant is sort of different than Burke, although they have some similar and related ideas. Kant believes that order of form is beautiful and that disorder or disordered form is the sublime. So you can get thrilling and pleasurable experiences from either one of these things, but beauty is ordered, and or what Burke would say was that beauty is rational and that the sublime is emotional. A way of explaining the difference between these two, so the order of form versus the disorder. If you're thinking about the sublime is immense, disordered, scary, and pleasurable all at once. A roller coaster is the sublime. It's something that forces you to confront your immortality. So this image on the left, if some of you remember, this was sort of circulating around the internet. Two pictures, one of a storm, one of the Statue of Liberty, sort of demonstrating this sense of impending doom coming to New York City, right? On the right, the movie Titanic, the scene where everybody is getting on the lifeboat or on the lifeboats or trying to get on the lifeboats, and the boat is going down, and you know that the boat is going down, and you're taking pleasure in watching sort of this really thrilling scene unfold and hoping that the people that you're rooting for are going to make it off the boat. On the opposite side, you have the golden rectangle, right? So the golden rectangle is fractal. The shape gets divided over and over again into one square and then a rectangle, and then that gets divided into a square and to a rectangle and a square and a rectangle, et cetera, and it could get ever increasingly smaller. It's mathematically perfect. If you look at things like credit cards are proportioned according to the golden rectangle, cereal boxes, most standard size photographs, 5 by 7, 8.5 by 11, etc., are according to the proportion of the golden rectangle. And it's something that the Renaissance painters used to divide space. And this ever increasingly small section of squares would be where the artist would put the most important thing inside the work. And if you went outwards, you would create a golden spiral, right? Things in nature follow this standard and pattern. So one of the things that you should think about in relation to Kant is this idea about beauty being something rational, being something that is ordered, and being something that is sort of predetermined, so that there is inherent beauty in things and we find it, rather than we take pleasure in something and therefore it is a beautiful thing, right? So that's a very fundamental idea that Kant has assigned. And the fact that not all things that are pleasurable are beautiful. So if you ever have thought, okay, well, this is a really good song, but I don't like it, that's basically sort of the idea. All right, so hopefully that helps you to understand Kant a little bit better. It's sort of a really gross simplification, but hopefully it's helpful.